Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest, Jazz. Her work is about equity and fostering meaningful relationships through ancient teachings. It is a program she developed, and she weaves with yoga and meditation with coursework that enables the participant to build healthy thought patterns and strong emotional foundations, which turn into support and meaningful, fulfilling life. Jazz connects with people in an honest and genuine manner. She has a MA in Intercultural Communication and has studied various healing modalities. With her extensive training, she helps others clear limiting beliefs, generational trauma, break negative thought patterns, while healing these issues and challenges. The limitations allow us to live a life of abundance in all areas of our lives. Why don't we jump in and start speaking with Jazz and find out what all this means and find out the definition of the word sage that she has used in her business name, Sage with Jazz. Welcome to the show, Jazz. And I'm probably going to butcher the word again. I'm going to ask you to define Sehaj, because it has a like other words, especially from southeastern Asia. It has specific meanings that it takes a bunch of words to define what it means in English, because it means more than what people think on the surface, right?
Yeah. So, in the Sehaj can be defined in many different ways, but it is a state of being, right? For me, it's a state of being, and it's in that place of you could call it bliss, but you could call it connectedness, you could call it oneness, but it's where I know I'm being taken care of, that I know there's flow in my life, and there might not that there's no ups and downs in your life, but then when you're in that place, you're able to be that witness, we're able to witness the world around you and remain in that place of calm.
Mm. That place of calm, I like that. So you've started with that. You've started a bunch of programs to help people discover their path towards Sehaj and um, we should say inner peace and resilience, right?
Yeah. There is a piece of resilience in there as well, because it's not that life isn't going to throw you any curveballs. Those curveballs will come, but you allow them to move through you versus hanging on to that pain and just, always questioning, why did this happen? Why did this happen? You recognize there is a flow in the world. There will be these ups and downs, but again, you remain in that place of knowing and in calm and in that peace and stillness.
Right.
So that's what when I was thinking of a name for my business, or, what is it? What is my purpose? And it is that, to just bring people into this place of resiliency. So come what may, they're able to walk through it and just know that this too shall pass.
Yeah. Well, was there like a series of events that led you to this path?
My life. About life.
Let's
Yeah,
talk
that's
about your
right.
life.
Yeah, that's right. Life. And so throughout my life, there have been many ups and downs. And and I was volunteering with hospice, Surrey Hospice, and as a volunteer, I noticed, there were many individuals that were coming to me for help. I would speak to them, and I would, just hold space for them, and then 2 or 3 sessions, they would be okay. They would be off and doing what they need to do, and then till another loss or some event would, cause them to be back in that same place. And then, I'm going, oh, this is, I'm noticing this pattern. And then yet there were others that, it doesn't matter what came their way, they're able to get back up again and kind of just keep moving on. And during COVID, I had time to reflect, and I looked at, what makes a person resilient. And one of the programs I looked at was Penn University's resiliency program. And I thought it really nicely defines some skill sets that people can have, that, once we have these skills, a different way of looking at life and what it's trying to teach us. And we, as we, learn about some of our unconscious belief systems, we can then move forward in a more connected way and really understand life and the traumas that have affected our life, and what is all this pain teaching me. And so as I move forward in life, I've had the loss of a spouse, I've had losses of different family members, job, faced cancer. Throughout this, like, I, had me all questioning life, and why are you doing this to me? And that's what kind of led me on the road to kind of search for meaning.
Right. Search for meaning. I think all of us human beings search for that meaning. One of the things that I learned, and I heard you kind of go down this similar path when we met at the Surrey Hospice conference
Mm-hmm.
the other day. That we have an event, we have teaching, and we have learning. The event
Mm-hmm.
happens. It's trying to teach us something. What have we learned after the event has passed? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It, um, is that a healthy way of looking at things?
I think it's really healthy. It's one way to come to a place of forgiveness as well. If somebody's wronged you, if you've lost somebody through death, you can come to a place of gratitude for the time that you did have with them and the beautiful memories that they've left you with, versus always being in this place of resentfulness, or, why did they leave me? Why did this have to happen? And you're always questioning, and you're always that victim of whatever's happening out there. it's happening to me. Whereas, when you build your resiliency skills and have an understanding of life, then you're in the driver's seat and you see how you're creating whatever's going on around you and how it's actually bringing you back to a truer, more authentic you. And that's where I think there's so much joy and bliss when you actually are on that path and then you're understanding what's happening around you. That's what brings happiness. And then you're in that place of flow, right? Like you're not waiting for things. Things are kind of coming to you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this then. When you finally find Sehaj, or that place of bliss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in and you have it centered in your life, and you have that place to ground you in your life. Um, can We're always going to have events. Can those events take all that away from us, or because we're grounded in that, the event happens, it may shake our bliss, but it won't
Mm-hmm.
tear it away.
Yes, that's exactly true. And so, when you have that grounding and you know that you're not the victim. So, if you lose your job, you lose a loved one, there's that grieving period for sure. We're humans. After all, we're human, right? We're going through the human experience. And when we have a loss, we may feel sad, and that this on the surface you might see it's tears, but underneath all of that, there's that groundedness that holds you together and I always come back to that. This is going to pass, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling this. I need to feel the emotions of this. It's a loss. And so it's almost like you're witnessing that. You're witnessing that loss, and you're kind of going, oh, you know, actually, this week I was going through something like that, right? So I'm watching myself. I'm going through the tears, and I'm going, oh, there's Jazz. She's feeling sad right now because there's this big mountain that she feels like she needs to climb over. And yet there was a part of me that kind of knew this is going to pass. This is okay. I'm okay. And I can still put on a smile and I can still show up.
Right.
Yeah.
So the as we put it, the mountain isn't sort of is we're able to climb over the mountain. It
Yeah.
doesn't
You're
just stop
climbing.
us
Yeah.
cold.
There is light on the other side. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you teach people to go to find these things? How, what about your
So,
program did
so,
works?
a lot of it is around self-awareness. So one of the keys that there were 6 pillars that Penn University discovered that an individual needed to kind of embody. One of them was self-awareness, and I think even in a different text, it's when you're saying you need to overcome your anger, greed, and all that. Like it's about knowing yourself, right? So what are my belief systems and where did I get them? Like, are these things that my parents have, passed down to me, or my ancestors have passed down to me, or society is telling me my role in the world as a woman, as a leader, as whatever? And so understanding your belief systems and then kind of like, do I really, really believe in this, or is this something that I've been taught, but I really don't want to do that, right? So a great example for me was my role as a woman in my culture. It's very much defined. Oh, you're in the home. You're the mother. You're the caregiver and everything. And you know what? You know, you're not going to be the leader. Your husband's going to be the leader, or another man's going to be a leader. And yet, the role that I chose in this lifetime anyways is to be a leader in my community and to talk about these issues, right? And kind of say, well, no, I don't know if I really agree with this, that I have to stay at home and you know make sure my rotis are round, or right. And so there's other talents I do have, and recognizing that these are things I'm good at, right? Not necessarily what my parents taught me or society has taught me. I have other skills.
Yeah.
So I'd say the bigger piece of the program that I have is around self-awareness, awareness of our traumas, and even our ancestral traumas and how that is still affecting us in this life today. So the core crux of the program is around self-awareness and how we again become the leaders in our own lives, right? Versus blaming others for all of the pain that they've caused us,
Mm-hmm.
or every little thing that they say pisses me off versus, what, this anger is inside of me, right? These are just triggers on the outside. So um, first thing is, and then developing healthy relationships, communication, having compassionate communication skills, and then and really connecting with that spiritual part of you, like whatever that may look like for you, like whether that's your true self, your authentic self, or whether you have a faith that you practice. Um, just
Right.
exploring all of that. What's your connection to
Yeah.
this world?
Yeah. On the spiritual end of things, it's like every Sunday I put my reverend hat on and I do
Yeah.
a talk about the love of God in our community,
Mm-hmm.
and how we need to expand that. With
Mm-hmm.
with that, we're talking about a lot of different life experiences and putting the blame on other people. How often does that happen and leads to um, like things like self hatred and self doubt because we're blaming
Mm.
somebody else for what we could take responsibility for.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I just want to take one step back in what you said earlier around love. And, since yesterday was Valentine's Day, that, I was kind of reflecting on love and how society in itself has, made love like so commercialized. And then it's also always about having someone in front of me to love. And then they should reflect that back
Oh,
to me, and they should love me, and they better love me like how I want to be loved, because otherwise they don't love me, right? And for me, it's like it's a state of being, right? And that
right.
we are love all the time. We're love, right? And we just have all of these masks that we wear that prevents us from loving each other all the time, right? And so one of the beautiful scriptures that I came across was just being able to just see the divine in everything and everyone, and just everything I look at, whether it's a plant or a computer or whatever, it's all the divine, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so just and when you see life from that place, that love just kind of pours out of your heart for everybody, right? And it starts with loving yourself too, because I'm also a creation of the
Right.
divine, right? And
Right.
when I can really get into that, then I don't project that, oh, I'm such a loser, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. You love yourself wholly, right?
Yeah.
Holistically. Yeah.
I, I think
Yeah, and
like
I do agree that you have to really around the self awareness. One of the things I talk about is just being aware of our self talk. What am I always telling myself? And one of the biggest thing for me, I grew up in a culture where girls weren't valued, and so
mm-hmm.
my big self talk is I don't matter, right? Poor me, I don't matter. And even with all of the things that I know, I do catch myself hearing that, right? So, it's about being able to turn that self talk around
Yeah.
and say, I'm loved unconditionally. I'm loved unconditionally when I do hear that self talk coming through.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for myself, coming from a culture where you're supposed to be more drone like and just fit in and keep your head ducked, sort of thing. It's like um I I hear myself every now and again. Let's say, who am I to be doing this? Right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
Or am I not, right? Why not me,
why
right?
not
Yeah.
me? Why shouldn't I do
Yeah.
this work? Right? Somebody needs to
Yeah,
do it,
yeah,
so why shouldn't it
excellent,
be me?
excellent,
Right?
yeah. Yeah, so that negative self-talk, like, is it's so important. Like, I think a few years ago, I lost my husband, and that was another, like, it's like, how are you going to survive as a single person, and
Yeah.
children and all that, like, like, oh, a woman on her own, like, especially when I was growing up, like, it was just like, oh, we better go give her some money, and we better, there was those were my role models, right? Like it was all about women having a supportive husband or a supportive brother, because women won't survive on their own. So that negative self-talk will come in every now and then, and yet I have lots of abundance around me, and I've proved all of that wrong. But it's very, very deep. Those words,
Yeah,
probably like ancestral too. Never
yeah.
mind, just from this lifetime. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the ancestral part. I want to get to the ancestral part, but I want to say this first. Is like, is there a point where we have to realize that we are love and we are abundance? And the
Yes.
second we accept that, we can be grateful for.
Yeah, yeah, you just have gratitude, right? Like,
Right.
and I mean, you could be living in a hut and you still have gratitude for whatever it is, like the air you breathe, and that's some of my hospice work too. Like when you're working with people at the end of life, they don't have. I mean, yeah, they have regrets of things they didn't do, but
Hmm.
that was in those last moments. It's like, can I breathe enough breaths to be able to see my wife again, or can I breathe enough breaths so that I can see that child be born? Like, I want to know, is it a boy or is it a girl, right? Like, so you can have gratitude for anything and everything, um, no matter how little you have.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of events that happen in our lives, and one of those is like, is like you were saying about how commercialized love is and Valentine's Day. And I'm not going to be an absolute downer on Valentine's Day because, hey, I like Valentine's Day. I like getting the
There's nothing
flowers
wrong
that
with being a part of
like
that, and
getting
and saying Happy
yeah,
Valentine's Day. But I'm
yeah.
just saying that appreciate your loved ones every
But
day, right?
how do we make that well wish from one day expand into a whole lifetime of wishing everyone around us love and happiness and all those things that we say at certain occasions? How do
Mm.
we extend that out?
Well, I think I answered it earlier, which is about, like, love is a state of being, is
Hmm.
right. So when love flows out of you, you don't need to choose like a day that I'm gonna, yes, you can still wish people happy Valentine's Day or whatever day,
Yeah.
but when that love is flowing through you, it's flowing 24/7, right? And when people come in contact with you, they feel that love. You don't have to say I love you. They just feel your love. And so I think, again, that's the state we want to be, the more authentic us, without our masks on, having to prove that we're a certain way or not a certain way. But yeah, like, I'm not saying that we get there overnight unless there's some grace that pours in. Like, it's a process, right? And then
Yeah.
we see ourselves, oh, here, like I just said, like, oh, I hear that negative self-talk coming in. It's telling me, who am I to be doing an interview there? No, but why not, right? Like, I've got all this great information that I'd love to share. Why not, right? And so always watching that, what's going on the unconscious side. And before you know it, there will be less and less of that, and more of, even when you're looking at people, it's, you just see them with love, right?
Right.
They feel your love. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I think, in some cultures, especially even the word love, we've associated love and sex as one, right? But love, again, like I said, it's a state of just being. it, it's not something that's dirty or that you can't love everybody. Like,
Right.
if I look at Guru Nanak, who was the founder of the Sikh faith, like, he loved everyone, whether you'd
Hmm.
killed somebody, whether you were begging, or whether you were the king or whatever. Everybody received love.
Right.
There was no enemies, right?
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
when I like that because when we um okay, I'm gonna poke at Christians for a little bit because hey,
Yeah.
I am a Christian, um,
Okay.
but there's the structure that is Christianity, and then there is what Jesus Christ taught, and his teaching was, it's like everybody deserves love. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
those. It's like we are that, and that was how we were created, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. We're all children of the divine. I
yeah,
mean, we may get into our egos and do some wrong things or hurt people and all, right? But if I think of people in my life that have hurt me, and then when I can look past their masks, right? Like they were the ones that were in fear when they were trying to hurt me, right?
right,
They were the ones they thought, they were threatened by me or whatever it was, and then, but if I could see them without their masks, they were just love, right? They were just
right,
beautiful beings, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is something that I like to say to a lot of people, that I tell most people that cross my path, unless, well, most people cross my path, because I don't find too many people anymore, because I'm always focused on the good in people,
Yeah.
that I find that good in them, and I'm finding myself telling more and more people how beautiful they truly are, and it isn't
Mm.
the aesthetic facial features or any. It's that love that they're projecting out from them that makes
Mm.
them beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. So you, like I said, you have a whole program that you've built, with Sehaj, with jazz,
Mm-hmm.
and what are the results that you want people to get from working with you?
Um, well, that they're feeling more resilient, more self-aware, of their own unconscious sort of unconscious belief systems, the unconscious dialogue that goes on that within them, and that they come out with some tools that when they are going through hard times, that they're going to be able to, understand what they're going through and then come out of it still connected and able to move forward with the lessons that they've learned and really lead a life of authenticity, of connected to divine wisdom, and that there will be flow in their life as well. So the program itself, there is the the educational part, but then it's coupled with yoga and some meditation, so that they can help move energy through their body and learn some breathing techniques. So these are all tools that they can use as they move forward in life themselves, and also they can teach this to their loved ones as well.
Yeah,
Create more peace and harmony in our homes. Who doesn't want that?
I think that's something we all want, right?
That's right. I think so. I
Yeah,
think that is our goal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You used another. I think in our cultural, I should say in our general area, that the word yoga is misused,
Hmm.
because we think of the Berkham's yoga center or the hot yoga center where we have
Oh,
to,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
More of an exercise.
yeah. So, d if you could explain, what you mean by yoga within your programs, because it has different meanings, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. And so the yoga that I teach is Kundalini yoga. It's taught by Yogi Bhajan, and so I'm a certified yoga teacher with Yoga West. And yeah, and so for me, the exercises or the kriyas are all designed to um, move through something, right? So whether it is like you're trying to strengthen your spine, or you're trying to move energy, basically move energy from our lower chakras into our higher. So that's where we want to be all the time. We're more connected to our the universe, or to our authentic selves. And the yoga portion, the eight classes, it's all beginners yoga, so it's nothing really, really advanced. It's just designed to move the blocked energies that we have. And each kriya that I choose, it matches whatever lesson that we're learning. So if we're learning a lesson on surrender, or if we're learning a lesson on just maybe moving through some of our childhood traumas, um, that's the yoga postures we'll do for that day. And the feedback I've gotten from the students is that they come to the class, and by the end of the class, they have such sound sleep that they feel that they have no worry in the world. And so it's been so positive to see some of the changes the participants have gone through. SFU is actually doing a study around one set of classes I did. They interviewed the participants before they took the classes, then after, and kind of are looking at their mental health before and after, and the preliminary results I've seen, and yeah, what the participants are just ecstatic about how, if they were going through depression or anxiety, and how much better they're feeling after the 8 weeks, and how they're using the tools to really help them in their daily lives.
Mm. Yeah.
The
That's
meditations themselves are again from some of them are from different. I've taken them from different modalities, and again are basically allowing ourselves to kind of connect with our unconscious self, or connect with the divine, come to a place of peace, and just quietening those thoughts. So yeah, they're all yeah, very much the feedback I get. It doesn't matter what faith you're from. Like they're feeling a lot more calmer.
yeah. Yeah. Um, I know. I used to go to. There was a center in Vancouver I used to go to, and there was this one time we were going through the yoga meditations and everything, right? And hers was definitely about meditation, and I hadn't slept in like a couple days just because of work, right? It
Mm-hmm.
just kept me going, and like and um, it was such a calm place, and she was such a cool person that I fell
Mm-hmm.
asleep in the middle of the
Mm.
meditation, and she
Oh,
just left me where I was. She's like, "Well,
yeah.
no, that's what you needed this time
Yes.
out of our
Mm-hmm.
class." And it's like
Yeah.
that was your calm, was to be
Mm-hmm.
there. So that's how we have to respect all that. So
Yeah. No, my one of my fondest memories is going to see a hospice client, and when I went in and I was, just talking to her, what I thought I was just talking to her, and doing a meditation with her, and then she fell asleep as well, and so I left, and her daughter was there, and I just, it was like around 5 in the evening, and so the next day I thought I'd just see, how check in, how she's doing, and the daughter's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what you did to my mom." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I got scared because maybe she passed or something," right? And she goes like, "My mom slept from when you left till 7 in the morning the next day. And when she woke up, she said, 'Where's that girl?'" And she goes, "I'm like, Mom, like she left last night." And then she goes, "Oh my God, I feel like she took all of my pain with her." And on my side, I'm like, I don't know what I did, right? And so, yeah, definitely, if you can help a client get into that deeper state kind of thing, it
yeah,
can really help with the healing, and yeah, just moving them forward. Yeah,
yeah,
whatever that next stage is for them. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a really cool thing that you do with the yoga. Um, so I always ask somebody one of these off the wall questions, right? What would what is the most beautiful place on the world, and why does it bring you peace?
Wow, the most beautiful place in the world. I guess I haven't traveled all the world, so I don't know. But I was gonna say just in my own home, like in my home, when I'm meditating. Like this morning, I start the morning with a sadhana, which is practice, I guess. And I just had the most beautiful experience this morning. I just felt like um, Guru or God was talking to me, and it was actually answering everything that I would have been asking, where I was talking to a friend about the night before. And I was just like, wow, like this is like I felt like I was in heaven, right? Like there's nothing that I need more. There's nothing like I don't know that I need to be anywhere else. Like yeah, just in that where my meditation corner is is bliss for me. Yeah.
Awesome. What are the best ways people can find you and work with you?
Where can they find me? Did you say?
Find you and work
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if they'd like to work with me, I have a website, jashcheema.com. And then, or they can call me at 604-561-2700. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been
Thank you.
a lot of pleasure. I got a lot more to learn from you.
And vice versa. I didn't know you. I want to know more about your church. Where is it?
Yeah. So anyway, thank you everybody for listening today, and we'll talk to you next time. Find that subscribe button wherever it is.
Help us
This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.